Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, another brand new day. I have on my lap a little hamster. Yes, indeed. I scrabbled in the bedding in her cage until she came out of her mason jar. She was not asleep. She was just grooming herself and eating and doing things like that. And so I made noise, and she came out. And now she's she's always a sweetie, but she's a sweetheart. I love all of my hamsters very, very much. There's something about rodents that they make my heart melt. I love them so much. But she is a sweetheart, and so I'm going to put her back in her cage so she can go back into her mason jar. Here we go, little one. Thank you very, very much. Yay! A very good thing. I also, just as a point of silliness, because you heard the way I thank my hamsters for letting me annoy them and such like that. Ah, bloody gnats. There's still gnats. But there's less of them now. Thank goodness. But I thank my hamsters. I found myself this morning. I came in. The little spider up there. Not little. She's still like half the size of my fingernails. So she's little, but not little. But she's up there. She's got her web right in the juncture of ceiling and wall. And I found myself, after getting up there close to look at her, I just went, oh, thank you. Thank you, little spider, for being here. And I went, oh my gosh, now I'm thanking spiders for being in my room. It's nuts. Just absolutely crazy. Parasocial relationships. Now, I've mentioned this before, but I have gone through periods of massive, oh, I forgot the word, but it's voluntary, involuntary, exposure therapy. Because for 10 years, I lived in a house in Bellingham, Washington, that was an old hunk of junk. It was literally falling apart. There are seams in houses where they build them in chunks and pieces, and there was this one seam on the outside of the house that at the base of the house it was together. By the time you got up to where the roof was, the split was like that, and they were having to repair, and it was just, there were no level floors. It was just awful. It had a utility room that you went down the stairs and then into the basement. And the basement was open beamed walls, open beamed ceiling, dirt piled up on the edges. Not even walls, just dirt. So it was piled dirt. You'd pile stuff on top of the dirt. And then you just stacked stuff up down there. There was a sump pump. It was damp. It was wet. It was just nasty. And it was Spider City. Spiders everywhere. It was just crawling with spiders. I would get hammered and go down into the basement because I hated spiders. Well, not hated, feared them so much. I was so afraid of them. I would go down there just because I didn't want to be down there. I was not going to let my irrational fear rule me. And so I just went down there all the time and would force myself to be down there just looking at stuff for about a half hour before coming back up. And now I have parasocial relationships with spiders in my rooms. And there was this other spider that I was trying to get out of here again. And it was just a case of she was dangling down, trying to get down, and I'd wind her back up with the stick because I was using my back scratcher, and I'd have to reach down and grab the web and then bring her back up so I could hook with the back scratcher again, and then finally got her to the window and set her out. So, and felt no, aside from just a basic human, we have an atavistic fear of small creepy crawlies. Doesn't really matter what the creepy crawly is. So sometimes I get that atavistic fear of creepy crawly, but nothing basically going, oh, look, spider. Now, I still get, twinges of arachnophobia periodically if I'm like, but walk too close face first before I realize there's a big spider in a web. But I think that's more the atavistic fear of creepy crawlies. So, I'm still arachnophobic, just not anywhere near as much. And I'm going to be putting back on my chokers again. I haven't stopped wearing them. It's just because of the lingering effects of my illness. I'm not coughing as much, but I am still periodically coughing. I'm not sneezing as much, but still periodically sneezing. Not blowing my nose as much. But the big point on that, of course, is they're pretty tight. I'm not anymore a really big guy. I mean, I've been between 240 and 290 most of my life. And now I'm 100 and like around between 185 and 190 right now, which if you subtract the 15 to 20 pounds of excess and loose skin that I have, you know, my actual body inside that is like 170 pounds, which is still pretty big. I don't want to gain any more weight. In fact, I'd like to lose a little bit more. But what I got here is a pretty good amount of meat on my bones. But my neck is just at the very edge of most of those things for the last connector or last hook for the one that's got the spikes. So when I cough or I sneeze because there's extra pressure, it's pushing against the choker. And that's not good. I mean, you've got your jugular and your... Oh, what is that other one? There's the jugular... Well, it's your... One of them's your artery, one of them's your vein. One of them goes up. I think it starts with a C. I can't even remember what it is. I hate that feeling. Tip of my tongue. But, you know, you've got those two blood vessels that are right here. And just wearing a tie, a regular tie, can restrict the blood flow to your brain by 15%. So on those days, which is why I don't wear my really tight one, I need to get my body mass down if I'm ever going to do that. But I don't want to be going with expansion of tissues and then going up against the chokers. So, yeah, on that. Plus, it was like yesterday or the day before, I got a big old zit that suddenly grew in. It was like the day after my shower. Suddenly there was a big zit came in right there on the back of my neck where the choker would go. And of course, right where the strap of my sleep apnea mask goes. Thumbs up for that. Luckily though, it's clearing up. So tomorrow I should be both not hacking and coughing and not wheezing enough that not all that I can finally wear them again. I have often thought of this one. I mean, we're pretty large animals. I mean, we're a pretty big animal. We're not massive. I mean, bears and some dogs are bigger than we are, mass-wise. And we're not really tiny either. I mean, we're bigger than a lot of the land animals that we have left surviving so far. But we're a fairly large animal, and I'm 5'11", so average height of the American man is anywhere between 5'8" and 5'10". So at 5'11", hey, I'm one step above the average. No disrespect, of course, to anybody who's short. That's unfortunately a society thing, where we have found by studying what's going on that people who are tall tend to get good things thrown their way, whether or not they deserve it, just because they're tall. And people who are short tend to get less, not because they're less competent or less capable, but just because they're shorter. Yay? So I've spent, you know, I don't tower. I'm just slightly taller than a lot, not a lot, well, about 50% of the population. So slightly taller than half of people out there. That's thumbs up. Not again, that doesn't mean anything. Plus, I am absolutely not sure of my height at this moment. As you get older, you get shorter. The tissues, the discs in your spine shrink and they get smushed and over time get smaller and your bones wear down and you lose anywhere from a ½ inch to a full inch of height. So am I still 5'11"? I don't know. I'm kind of hoping, but that's just because, well, I don't know. One thing I did want to talk about before time runs out. Oh, also, and a nostalgia thing. Nostalgia is not always terrible if you can control it. Like yesterday, after talking about how horrible nostalgia is, I actually listened to some nostalgic music. But the thing is, it was by choice. I wasn't being yanked back involuntarily to a time or place that I can never repeat or recover, and then have to deal with the pain of going, gosh, you know, I did this with this person and they're dead now. Instead, I listened to some music from the 90s when I was living in that house in Bellingham, Washington. Edie Brickell and New Bohemians, you know. I can't even remember how the song goes, you know, but it's... I'm not aware of too many things. I know what I know, if you know what I mean, being the chorus. Plus, I don't want a copyright strike. Plus, it was just nice, in that case, being pulled back to nostalgia, by nostalgia, to a house that I'm never going to live in again, but it's still there. With people that, to the best of my knowledge, are still alive. Though one person that I first rented the house there, I haven't seen him for 30 years. I haven't heard of him for 30 years. Is he alive or dead? I have no ideas. But conceivably, that's something that I could recreate. And so it didn't hurt that much. But the other thing I wanted to talk about is way back when, 1988, they had this trade paperback of Stig's Inferno. And it was a collection, of course, from the comic book. I want to find out more, because I used to know a little bit about these people, but that was just up to 1988, 1990 and some. It is a quote-unquote retelling of Dante's Inferno, except it's done, even though it was 1988, it was done in the style of the old, like, Mad comic books and such, with just wild, I'm trying to do it so I can see it, so I can show it. Just the madness of the art styles and the madness of the story. I mean, a guy, he builds a house, and his house is... there's things living in it, and he dies and goes to hell. And his girlfriend and a whole bunch of other detectives, they do this stupid thing and they all die and go to hell. And the idiots that are in hell, running hell, like Satan and all that, are lunatics. And the people that are in the minions of Satan end up throwing Satan into prison instead of Stig into prison, and so Stig is crowned king of hell while trying to escape and just not really believing that all this is true. So it's a weird series, but it's like, and it's very well done, and I just wanted to show that off because it's the characters and the artists. It's the artists and all that, the Ty Templeton and Klaus Schoenfeld, that were, as much as there's both names up there together, apparently there was like a big falling out between the two of them. So I'm just curious about these two. Ty Templeton should have had a big career in comic books. Excellent artist. Very silly. Very good stuff. Past that, though, is there anything that I wrote down? Oh, yeah. I almost just irritated my roommates today, and I still have to irritate them later when they get out of bed, because we have 2 points on our cable modem. It's actually got 2 points of internet access, and so you can connect to one or you can connect to the other. The one that I was connected to went down last night, and when I woke up this morning it was still down, and so I was unconnected, and I was getting ready to go knock on their door and say, hey, you know, I'd hate to wake you up, but the cable modem's in your bedroom. You need to reset the cable modem. Instead, I took another solid look at it and went, well, you know, it looks like only that one is down. Tried connecting to the other point. Bingo. So if you're able to watch this video, I'm online. So I'm glad I thought of that. I'm glad I made the check. I'm glad I didn't irritate my housemates. I'm only worried about irritating my housemates because I find it very difficult to sleep, and sleeping is important. I don't like to wake people up. It doesn't matter if I'm on good terms, bad terms, indifferent terms. I don't want to interrupt people's sleep. That's why I don't wake up my hamsters. So, luckily, everything worked out. Later on, when they're out of bed, I'll say, hey, could you reset the cable modem here? We got some major issues. So thumbs up for that. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. Now, I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them afterward. I'm going to thumbs up each one I do, answer as many as I can. But for right now, I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. A good comment, a bad comment, and a different comment. The fact is, you expended the calories, you took the time, you left me a comment. Thank you so very, very much. It is appreciated. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and of course, I always forget. My brain is damaged. I count in American Sign Language, so if I get lost with I get lost a lot. Now that the momentum is gone, we have some guy named Jamie. Thank you very much for the tips. Very cool. Thank you. And then we have Bob Laser, thumbs up and thank you. Confused Owl 29, thumbs up and thank you so much. Jaden, greatly appreciated. J Visuals, thumbs up and thank you. Shoracha Sora, thank you very, very much. And Artemisa Bree, I sure hope I'm close. Thumbs up and thank you. Denial, thank you very, very much. And Retro Kirby, greatly appreciated. Kathy Kit's Cat, thumbs up and thank you. Russian Timing, thumbs up and thank you very much. And Pandora NYC1, thumbs up and thank you. Always good to see you in the comments. Then we have Bad Sunflower, thank you. And then Pit Life Kennel, thumbs up and thank you very much. And The Ghost, greatly appreciated. Colin Reisenauer, thumbs up and thank you. The Car Guy, thank you very much. Esau Nagar, again, I've no way of knowing if I'm even close, but thank you very, very much. Sebastian Ferris, thumbs up and thank you. And Type, thumbs up, thank you very much. Punisher 420, THC, damn straight. And then we have Masher Dabs, greatly appreciated. Purple Donut, that's a heck of a donut. And then we have Adrian Bryan, thumbs up and thank you. And last but not least, Yost Nerd, thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Each and every one of you, you get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, and that is a very good thing, even if only in text. You lose 95% of all context, all information. 95% of the information that you intend for there to be in a text message is gone, because 95% of the information we use in conversation is contextual through body language, tone, speech pattern, and more. It's easy for people to misunderstand text because 95% of the meaning is stripped out of it. So just remember. And hey, if you can check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, NearlySeniorCitizen.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. But if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get for my existence, a definite thumbs up, and if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very cool, greatly appreciated. I would understand if you did not wish to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now until literal end of time. My hand gestures and pointing mean nothing. Remember, it's just I talk with my hands. My hand gestures mean largely nothing because this hand was just paralyzed because I had severed my radial nerve, and just the fact that I can move it, feeling the muscles, is nice. It is pleasurable. So I move my hand into shapes because I can feel it. And it's nice. And then because I like symmetry, I just mirror the motions with my other hand. What do they mean? Absolutely nothing. Thumbs up for that. I would go insane if I was handcuffed, especially if my hands were handcuffed behind my back. I am slightly claustrophobic. I need to be able to move my arms. I don't dare get arrested. I will lose my mind. I almost lost my mind trying to get out of a jacket once just by sitting on the sleeves. Holy smokes. Anyway, though, I've got this video, another video, and that's a good thing. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. So you take care.